Welcome, conservative campers. At least I hope you're at least a conservative, even if you aren't a camper. I'm out here just kind of enjoying the day, and I've got a new slide-in truck camper that I just picked up. My wife and I picked it up about a month ago. And because I've built a couple of teardrops, and I've still got a Coachman 17 FQ, and I used to have a Viking 9.0 TD. I've got all this stuff, so I really didn't have to buy anything new for this trip. I've installed it all on this, and this is a Freedom camper, and I think it's one of the best investments you can make in a portable camper. It's phenomenal for the price. I got this for $3,300 with the mounting kit from a dealer that is in, what's the name of the place? Creston, Iowa. And so if you're looking for something like this, Creston, Iowa, the guy was great. I could have gone down, it's someplace south of Kansas City where they have one of the distribution centers, I think it is. And you can get them down there also, but it would have been a little more money, and it would have been twice the drive. So I'm going to just show you some of the things I've done to it, and I've tried to do it in make things light, but also do it on somewhat of a budget. One of the first things I think you can get, and for the money you can't beat it, is just a step that fits into your 2-inch receiver hitch. I got this on Amazon. It wasn't much money at all. I think it was between $20 and $30, and it works great. You can put your... Now, I know a lot of people talk about storage in these, and now it's kind of difficult to come by. You either have underbed storage, or what I did was I picked up some of these tube-framed shelving units. And if you put something heavy, like right now I've got a Pecron E600 down at the bottom, this will not shift. They link together right here with little blocks, little wedges, so they all hold together very tightly, but with a little weight at the bottom, it works out perfect. Now I had a spare microwave, so I decided to put it in here when I'm driving. I'll put this on the floor in between the shelving and the bed, just so it won't slide off the shelf. I could, and I'm thinking of doing this, put some Velcro tabs on the bottom, because I've done that with everything else in here that's on the shelf. I didn't want it sliding off while I was driving. I didn't want to have to take it off each time and then put it back up there. Since you're not dealing with a direct pull on the Velcro, it's all shear force, like with my Pecron down below. It's worked out great. That does not move, and the weight of it down there also keeps the shelves from moving. It kind of locks into the carpet on the floor. In between the shelving and the bed, I've got a Vevor refrigerator and freezer. I got the smallest one I could find because I'm trying to use as little electricity as possible, and that one used very little. It's all one piece. It doesn't have like separate compartments for refrigerator or freezer. But for the most part, the only thing I really need to worry about is keeping stuff frozen. And I don't know but if you're like me, you really don't like to deal with ice and draining this stuff and finding a source of ice, and it's just a pain in the butt. These are very good, and I wouldn't hesitate, at least at this point, to recommend a Vevor. One of the things, the lid was really hard to get open, so I had to sand the little nubs down to where it would open a little bit easier. So even though it's good and secure, the lid is, you can pop it open with one hand now, which is what I wanted. Because I wanted almost everything in here to operate off of 12 volt, I got a 12 volt TV, and behind the microwave, I'll show you in just a minute, is a USB port drive DVD player, because you can't always count on a good signal. I've got just a stick-on antenna up above the TV, but this works out great for plugging into my power center. I put it on an articulated mount so I can collapse it against the wall, and so it fits against the wall when I'm driving. I put a Velcro tab behind the arm at the point where it meets the wall, so I can just push it back against the wall and it holds there while I'm driving, and I just pull it away from the wall when I arrive at my campsite. In here I've got a Pelonis high-low ceramic heater, so it runs off a little less power. I've also got like a little caboodle to keep toiletries in, and a first aid kit, and also down here I just put in a level. Everything is attached by Velcro, so I never have to worry about it shifting. Now here's something I wish they would have done right at the Freedom Factory. They have an air vent that is great on the outside because it looks finished, but on the inside it was basically a hole. So I went on Amazon and I picked up a matching 3-inch vent, just put a little silicone around it, and put these on both sides on the inside so it looks more finished. And also, while I'm doing this, I'm making some curtains here, but I just put up the stick-on hooks, and I got some curtain rods, and they just fit right in there. So as soon as I get my curtains, it'll be kind of nice to just kind of do it yourself. You can order the ones for this. They make them kind of generic ones, but I wanted to come up with my own. I don't need a whole lot of light in here, so I just went with a rechargeable LED light, and it has a remote, so it works out great. I put the remote attached to Velcro next to the door, so when I step in, I've got it. I can turn it on. It's kind of cool. Change colors. I know it's a little campy, but I like it. And you can switch to white light if you want. So it really is very useful. I like the fact I attached it with Velcro, so I can just pull it off of there, recharge it with my power center, and stick it back up. I never need to worry about batteries. Now here's my Pecron E600 614 watt power center. I've got 200 watts of solar on Vivor adjustable mounts on the roof. So I've got 2 separate solar panels, each 100 watt, coming into this. I also have the power source, so I can just plug into it if I want to. If I'm in a campground, what works out nice for that is everything can be operated, including the microwave, by either pass-through, or if I do have it unplugged and set up to just a solar or without solar, I can run this microwave off 600 watts because it has a 1200 watt inverter. This microwave is 900 watt. So even though I couldn't run it for very long, usually you're not running it long on power anyway if you're just making up a breakfast sandwich or whatever. So just having a small microwave hooked directly into a power source is kind of neat. And one of the other things, and one of the reasons I got the E600, is it has 2 DC 5525 output ports for 12 volt, plus it's got the cigarette lighter port. So right now I've got my fan, which I installed, and I'll show you that in a minute, and I've also got my TV hooked into the 5525, and I've got my Vivor hooked in by that white cord going into the cigarette port. And then I've daisy chained the TV into the DVD player because it is USB powered. This is my Max Air dome fan. I didn't want to put a fan on the roof. I've always believed it's not a good idea to cut holes in roofs. So this Max Air is designed for a sidewall. You can put it on the top, but it's also designed for a sidewall, and it's got a rain cover, and it pops in and out so you can totally seal it, which I liked. To enclose all the lines, and right now I've got the fan wiring plus the solar going through these wire covers, and the grommet I used for the wire coming through the back wall. Once again, I didn't want to make a hole through the ceiling, through the roof, so I just put it through the back wall right about here, and I tapped it right in and bent it to the cord cover. So it goes over here and then down, and then it's exposed. But that made a nice, really tight installation for the solar, which I was happy with. Here is my Max Air dome fan. They make this with and without lights, and since I really think sometimes The lights are kind of overdone in trailers, and every time you use another light, it's a new source or drain on power. But this goes in and out, and it has a button. It sucks air out of here very well. It's a one-way fan, basically. It does not blow air in. It only sucks it out, but that's what I wanted. I wanted to get all the hot air out of this, and it will suck it through the side air vents, or if I crack a window, it also pulls through there. If you have them both open, I don't think you really get enough vacuum to use it effectively. So I usually put the window over on the opposite side and open that about halfway, and then with the two air vents up front, it sucks air in pretty good. And then when you're done, you just push on this and pull it forward, and it seals it off. Here's my little DVD player. I'll give you some scale with my hand in there. Just has a lid that opens up from the top. Very tiny and operates off USB. So hooking into the TV, it's one less thing to hook into the power center. For warm weather, I'm not even sure they make this anymore, but I love my little Eureka Cheyenne sleeping bag. It's a little bit oversized, so I'm a bigger guy, so it works out great. Fits this mattress perfectly. It's only go down to plus 40, or it has to be higher than that because you can never believe those measurements. But it works out really good in here because this thing is super insulated. It's basically 2 inches of foam with rhino liner on the inside and the outside. No framework at all. If you look into this, you can see where they've dropped this off a lift, and it creates little to no damage on it. So it would hold up, I believe, very well in hail, which is something that most RVs can't say. Now for the bed. I made it out of 1x4s with 1x4 cross members, 2 of those, a third of the way in on both ends. I also put 2x4s at the corners underneath. First of all, I needed it to support the collapsible legs. I needed something to drill into. And all I used was a very thin, like 1/8 inch piece of ply. Because with this, you really don't need as heavy a bed as what most people make. I mean, I'm a good sized guy, and these 1x4s, they may flex a little bit on the width angle, but not by very much. There's no way they're going to break. And so I also have a trifold foam mattress, 4-inch thick. I love it. I sleep very good on this. I didn't think I was gonna. One thing they always point out is you put on this end the bend, and I've got it backwards here. I need to turn this around. They fold one up, one down. I need to take that end and put it up here so you don't have this bottom line like crease in the middle where you're sleeping on it right in your back. So I'll turn this around before I go to bed tonight. With this, I can honestly say Velcro is your biggest friend. Right now I've got the light remote, and I've got the TV remote over here. I also have, this was like designed for a, what am I thinking, like a broom to hook into the wall. But I have a little flashlight that I put in here so I can find it in the dark. But everything is at hand, and I wanted it, off the top of this just so I could be able to see it, and so it won't slide around. Another thing that's nice about this fan, it is very quiet. So if you have trouble sleeping at night, it's just going to give a nice white noise, but it isn't going to be overwhelming. If you're going to get one of these, you're probably going to have to install these. You can pay to have them installed, but it really isn't that difficult. It's mounting plates, and they make these for trucks, and they also make it for another great thing about this camper. They also make it, you can mount this on a 5x8 or 5x10 or 6x10 trailer, whatever you've got. So it's pretty fantastic. You can use it as a slide-in truck camper, or you can put it on a tow-behind trailer. If you do have it on your truck camper, I would recommend getting these D-hooks. Fantastic, and they're very cheap. They're like $20. They install in about 10 minutes. so you don't have to try to reach down the side to get to the normal mounting hooks. And these you just put in, you drill through, put the bolts through, and then seal the edge with silicone, leaving the base open. And there are certain angles. This, I believe, is like a 10-degree angle, and the front one has to be, I think it's something like a 45-degree angle. But if you get online, they will show you exactly how to do it. It's measuring over 12 inches and then up 12 inches to the center bolt. It's pretty simple to do. I can't really get you a good picture of the solar panels, but they're standard, these are Cal Suns, which rated very well. And the VEVOR mounts I put in, they fit good. They're, I believe, 41 inches from end to end, and you can angle it. So in the winter, when the sun's lower on the horizon, I could get up there and angle it more towards the sun if I'm staying multiple days.